wash these cats. I can't feed them right here right now because it's a rainy day. And I feed them just like in that tray right there, and some I pour on the floor because they fight. But I can't do it today, it's raining. I went to town this morning, picked up a grocery order, got next week we go on our little mini beach trip. And so I wanted to get a few things out of the way. I told Mom, I said, I think I have everything for us to eat. Oh, this rain, I've got 2 tomato plants falling over too. Why I came out with screws in my pockets, the new ones for fencing, is Tony called me and said, I need to be cleaning out the back of my truck. So let me go back to that. I was fixing to head outside to clean out the back of my truck. It's still got all that stuff from that I got for the new coupe from the tear down. But Debbie called me and said that she's been having some stuff going on with her heart, and they want her to come in and let them check her pacemaker. So tomorrow morning, and all the stuff is in the back of my truck. So I've got to get it out of my truck, get it stored somewhere. That was the big thing, is I just didn't know where to store it until I start working on it. Anyways, just fixing to do that, and then the phone rang, and Tony told me, he said, is your cow out? And I said, is she? And he started laughing. He goes, I'm asking you, is she? And he goes, I don't know. It's been raining. I haven't been out. And he said, well, there's a big pile of poop, cow poop in his front yard. So I come out the back door. I don't even have a shirt on. I had a bra on, but no shirt, because I was changing into play clothes to work out, cleaning out the truck. And from that door, the screen door inside, up there on the steps inside, I could see him moving around out here. And the first thing I seen was that rail on that fence of the fence of his, the one that I said needs a couple of T-posts. The rail was down. And I said, Tony, I see a rail down. I said, is that fence down? And he walked over and he goes, yeah, it's down. And he goes, but I see her. She's in, and I can see her now. He said he could see her in the old goat house. So she's in the goat house getting away from the rain. So she must have crossed over and had a field day in his yard and came back, I guess. Praise God, because he's open. Anyway, praise God, she ate a little bit and came back home. So now I've got these in my pocket to go pull the wire up, and hopefully it's in enough of a way that I can staple it up and then put the rail back up the top. And I might need, I've got 2 rails right there. I might need to drag them over and see if I can go ahead and put they've got a bottom rail, just need a second rail. Maybe would keep them away from pushing on it. I don't know, these goats and cow. And then I've got 2 tomatoes. These 2 here, that one and that one, laid over from the rain. But it looks like I got a couple of squash over there I need to pick. Alright, well, take the good and the bad. I don't know about the chickens. Hadn't gone out to look for eggs yet today. Fixing to do that too. Guess I'm gonna do whatever I can do in between these little pocket storms we keep getting. Alright, I'll see you in a little bit. Y'all see me? I'm looking right at the sun. I didn't bring my sunglasses out. So I got the rail and the wire back up over there at Tony's. And I put, I had them he's got those 1x4s that were supposed to be the last for his roof. They didn't need them after they used so much plywood, just sheathing. They didn't need all them 1x4s. So he said, Mom, what do I do with these boards? I said, well, just sit them over the fence and I'll put them up. Well, I hadn't put them up yet. Praise God, because I just used 3 of them over there. I went ahead and put one directly under the rail. Let me get up and walk over there. Although it's sun shining and I am burning up hot. Tied up I got 3 cucumbers. I've got 4 cucumbers in there on the counter from yesterday or the day before. Don't tell Dad, he'll be mad. I'm getting cucumbers. Coda. Stand here for a minute by this fort. Dakota said she found a cucumber in in Dad's mule. And she goes, look at this pickle. And he said, put that up. That's the only one. He said, put that up. That's the only one Papa's got. And I said, Dad, you can't make a pickle out of that. And he said, I ain't gonna make a pickle, one pickle, something, something. I said, no, cut it into spears and then you'll probably get at least a jar of pickles out of it. And he goes, it would still be one pickle because it's only one cucumber. I hear you. You're just trying to make fun of I only got one cucumber. Anyway, it was funny. So what I've done over there, y'all can't tell from here. I don't think you can tell. Maybe if I zoom in. Okay, if I zoom in, you can see. See the top rail right there? That's the one that had fallen. And when it fell, probably the goats did it to start with. And then when it fell, Mala just pushed through it. So I got some longer screws and I put that rail back up. And then I started pulling the wire and hooking it back to that post right there. It's got wire, those new wire screws, staples, whatever you want to call them. Pulling, and the wire's really good and tight. As tight as I could get it, because it's got all that stupid poison ivy or oak or whatever that is growing through it. I cut some of that, pulled some of it, but I got the wire as tight as I could. But what I noticed, and what's never been a problem because nothing was in here, was that the wire is only to the top, is only to the bottom of that rail. So wire never got stapled at this end because as the ground came up, the wire was shorter. So I put one of those 1x4s underneath it, and that gave me something to screw the wire into. And then I went ahead and put a 1x4 here and then another one in the middle too. That kind of reinforced all of it again. So that's done. I don't think she'll be messing with it. She's right there. She's been over here and bothering me while I work, but she didn't do anything. And you can see they've been eating all the leaves off that tallow tree. And they've eaten all the ones off this tallow tree out here on the edges too. And on that one. I still need to bring that hanging light into the yard before they knock it down. Anyway, got that done. Whew. I need to feed. It's just barely 5 though. I think I'm just gonna go in the house and cool off. And then come back out about 6 and feed it. No, I need to get me some water. Yes, water. I'm still drinking the water like it's nobody's business. They're here in the shade. Anyway, let me go over here and show y'all. It's all I could do because I don't have a place right now to store a bunch of lumber. And I really didn't need it to store for a long time because I want to, you know what, we've got our little mini vacay next week. If I could just lay low, you know, for a little while, get through that, and then come home and start again on some other projects. But I've had my truck backed in right there, and you know, tailgate was down because all that lumber was in it. Here it is. I couldn't do nothing with it but just stack it up against the shed, against the shop. So I've got the 10 here. I've got 2 sawhorses, and I'll put the 10 first because that will be the last thing used. And then some 2x4s here, some 2x4s here, and then these are 1x4s, and that's that. There's one 2x4 right there, but the rest of those are 1x4. So that's what we call the lathes, what you screw like up here. You got a 2x4 runner rafter, but you got a 1x4 lathe going this direction. That's what you screw your metal in. So I think there's not too much more I would actually have to purchase for that chicken. Oh, and there's the 2 floors, the 2 pieces of plywood for the floor. So I don't think there's too much more that I would have to purchase. Got something in my eye. For the chicken, the new coop. I just need to do it, and I really I need new mascara too. I'm out of my waterproof, so I wear the oh my gosh, I'm gonna draw a blank. Anyway, I usually buy the waterproof one, and Mama likes the same mascara, but she doesn't like waterproof. So I don't know why, she'll get in some kind of kick where she don't like that mascara anymore. She does it all the time. And things that she don't use, she'll buy and then don't use. She usually brings them down to me on a Sunday, or when I leave, she'll go, there's stuff in that drawer if you want it. And it's usually like the hair color conditioner, because I really do think they should not charge. You can buy like Clairol, Nice and Easy. I love their conditioner. I love their conditioner. And then I Googled once, and you can buy just the conditioner, but it's very, very expensive. So when Mom's hair is very fine, so she never uses a conditioner, so she's supposed to save them, although she hadn't told me lately that she's been. I know she still colors her hair, because every now and then it's a different color blonde than it was a few days before. Anyway, she'll buy some kind of makeup, or she'll buy some mascara, she'll buy something, and then she won't like it, and she'll put it in a drawer. And then months later, all of a sudden, she'll say, there's stuff in the drawer, or I brought you some stuff, and I open it, and there's the same mascara that she's done bought again. And then Voluminous, that's what I wear, Voluminous. And I've worn it since, let me tell you how long I've worn it. Since Buddy was in kindergarten. Is that not crazy? Me and Buddy's teacher, his kindergarten teacher, she was single and I was single at the time, and we became fairly good friends. Look at this, I'm just making it worse. Anyway, we became kind of good friends, and she asked me one time, she said, what do you do? And I said, well, I don't go out that often because I'm still not used to going out. I was never the partier or the clubber. That was kind of Tina's thing. And I would go with Tina sometimes. But Tina was, she wasn't in the relationship with Rob. I don't know what Tina was doing at the time, but me and Tina weren't going clubbing. And I said, but I said, there's Cat Blues in Humble. And then across the street is another club. It's not quite country, but they do play country music, and it's called Blue Angel. So we would go clubbing, dancing. And you know, I'm not a drinker. I could drink something like a daiquiri or something, but you don't want to drink them at a club because they cost you an arm and a leg. But things like that, if it's not very strong, but I can't drink anything that's like, this is what I say, if I can taste the liquor, I don't want it. I'd rather it be where I couldn't taste whatever it is in it. But anyway, she wore, one time I left work and I went, I guess, straight to her apartment, and we got dressed together. You know how girls would do that kind of stuff. And we got dressed together at her apartment, and her eyelashes were, I always thought they were fake. And she said, no, they're not fake. I don't wear it. She said, it's just this. And it was voluminous. And I started buying it back then, and it was like $6 or $7 then. Now it's 11. I think it's 11 bucks at Walmart now. So try the days that I don't want to wear makeup. That's one day I don't have to use the $11 mascara. But I like waterproof because of this. I'm out here sweating, and now I look like somebody's been punching on me. Anyway, there's a little bit of a breeze out this evening. I don't know if y'all can see. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. The wind is blowing, and it feels good under the carport. Didn't feel good in the backyard. You can't feel it as well as you can. It's like like a little tunnel under here, and it's drawing the air in. Anyway, I'm going to go in and get something to drink. Got all this stuff out of the truck. Now my truck is ready to go. Mom said I should pick up Debbie at 7 in the morning instead of 7:45. I sort of said, I told Mom, I said I might text her and say 7:30, and she goes, I think I would leave at 7 just to make sure you have plenty of time. And I was like, 7. All right. That means getting up at least 6:15. get Levi pulled together and me pulled together. And I have to eat something, even if it's small. It's got to be something like a folded over peanut butter sandwich or those breakfast bars, although they have a lot of carbs in them. And I use keto bread. I don't have keto peanut butter, but put about a tablespoon of peanut butter is all I use on a sandwich, folded over. But I have to have something in my stomach before I take any of my morning, like vitamins, one a day, and all the morning things I take. Anyway, alright, Buddy's weed eating, so I'm making too much noise, and I don't want noise. I just want something to drink. I will see you guys later. Love y'all. God bless you. Katie, I'm trying to do a video.